Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming and so glad you took time out of your middle of your week and your busy week to show up here and be here with us. And whether you found us through a personal invitation, or a friend, or on social media, or some of you currently take Shackley products, I think that you really will enjoy and be glad that you're here because tonight is about wellness. And we're going to talk real science, real stories. And what we're going to do is share with you so that by the end of the night, you will know exactly what steps that you can take to protect and transform your health from the inside out because life is from the inside out. So I am Donna, and I'm joined here by Heather, and Michelle's going to actually share her testimony too. But we're going to talk about our health because we are so passionate about that. And if most of you know me, you know that I am passionate about helping people. Heather is no different. She is a personal trainer and a coach. And so we work very hard to support and help others live their best lives. And so we're going to start right now, and I have a question for you. If you're already into wellness or skincare or anything that works to take care of yourself, put next level in the chat. And if you're brand new and just want to protect yourself for the future, put future in the chat. Because here's the thing, we all are at different paces and places in our life. And so there are ways to get there, whether you're in it, and I've been doing it for a long time. Heather's been doing it for a long time, but we would love to see where you are because no matter which camp you're in, what we're going to share tonight is really goes beyond skincare, joints, and all of the other things. It's about your cells, your energy, and it's the way that you feel every single day for the rest of your life. And I know most of you here in the room, so we work a lot, we have all of the things going on, and we're jumping from one thing to the next, and all of that impacts us. So this is not a question I ask people very often, but I do hear it from people. Do you think about aging? Because most of us do. But here's what we don't think about. Aging doesn't start the day we find the first wrinkle or feel the first ache in our knee, in our hips, or in our back. It actually starts the moment we're born. Every birthday, every year that passes, our biology is quietly changing. And I grew up not knowing much about skincare. We didn't have the digital age where you could just have a ad flashed in front of you. And so oftentimes I didn't even wash my face at night when I was younger because what did I know? But here's the thing. I had this beautiful aunt that I love dearly, and she had the softest skin. And what I knew about her skincare was she had this jar of moisturizer. I don't even remember the name of it, but she had it. She looked amazing. And then fast forward, my daughter owns a spa. She's an esthetician. So you think I would be set up for life. However, mom's usually the last one on the list to get in. So I think I got in a month ago. That was the first time in a year and a half. So I still get to take care of my skin. I get to take care of my joints. But here's what my daughter always says to her clients. Your skin is a reflection of what's happening inside your body. Your joints are a reflection, this is my saying, of what's happening inside your body. And that's what tonight is all about. We're going to talk about what is happening inside your body because most of us, like I said, look at aging from the outside, but it doesn't start at our skin. It just shows up there. Aging starts at a cellular level. And if we want to look better, feel better, live longer, then we have to support the cells first. And every single cell in your body, your hair, your skin, your bones, your muscles, it is constantly working to repair itself, replicate itself, restore, and produce energy. And we're at 7:09, and I know that most people are probably tired. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, even though we're midway here. But here's what happens. Our cells over time, that ability to repair, replicate, and produce energy slows down, and oxidative stress builds. That inflammation quietly accumulates in the background, and we start to see it in our skin and in our joints. So who here doesn't have a pain somewhere tonight? Isn't feeling something? But when our cells are under stress and everything's suffering, what we do most is we reach for a countertop solution. Can you relate? Do you grab a cream for the wrinkles, an ointment for the aches, another cup of coffee for your afternoon slump? If that's you, put a yes in the chat, because we are there together, but we're going to talk about fixing this at the source. So, moving slides at the same time here. Here's something that hopefully will shift the way that you think. So every day your cells are under trillions of attacks. Trillions with a T. The air you breathe, the food you eat, the sleep you didn't get last night, even that drive-through chicken sandwich that you swapped out for the burger because you thought it was the better thing. Every single one triggers an inflammatory response. And here's something else to think about. Short-term inflammation is your body doing its job. But when you're exposed to these stressors overnight and over and over and over every day, that inflammation never fully resolves. It becomes your body's default setting, which leads to chronic inflammation. And that operates quietly at that cellular level till it's not quiet. And if you are on social media at all, you will see like inflammation. It causes thyroid, muscle, all of the things that are going on with you right now is probably based on the chronic inflammation. So when your body's spending all of its energy managing the damage instead of thriving, that is actually called cellular aging. It's when you feel like the vibrancy that we felt when we were younger shifts, your skin looks a little less radiant, your energy isn't what it used to be, and you're just not operating at your best. That cellular aging, it affects every single one of us. And I'm going to get a little sciencey here and tell you why, because there's two things to know about your cells. The first one is mitochondria, which a lot of you have probably heard about. That's your cellular power plant. I'm in the energy industry by day, and we talk power plants. They produce the energy that your body needs to repair, to function, to regenerate. But as stress accumulates and we age, that mitochondrial function declines. Energy drops, recovery slows, and aging accelerates. But it doesn't have to, so stick with me. Second are telomeres. Think of these things as protective caps at the ends of your DNA. So if you think about your shoelaces and those little plastic things at the end, that's your telomere. And every time your cells divide, and they divide constantly, those caps get a little shorter. It's kind of like as you get older, your height shortens and you get on the downward slope. And they get a little shorter. And when they get too short, those cells stop functioning properly. But here's the great news. You can influence the process. The right support can slow it down significantly. And that's really what we want to share with you today. So we're going to talk about this, and it's called the GLOW protocol, but don't think it as an outward thing. It's actually an inward thing that's going to be glowing. So when we talk about GLOW, the first thing that I want to share with you is Vivix. Because as Vivix is Shaklee's clinically proven cellular repair and protection formula. They've had it, oh gosh, for over 20 years or more, because I took it when I first started with Shaklee 30 years ago. And it is your daily cellular defense. It works at the DNA level to slow cellular aging, reduce oxidative stress, support mitochondrial energy production, and it protects your telomeres. We all need protection. And the nice thing about this and what I love about Shaklee is that they back it up. And it holds 27 patents globally and contains one of the most concentrated forms of polyphenols. Those are plant compounds, and nothing else compares to that. It's 13 times more powerful than resveratrol. And it comes in, you can get it in a liquid, in a capsule, or a gummy. The gummies are coming in a couple weeks. So whatever works for your lifestyle, there is a form for you. But I want to give you an example. So about an hour and a half ago, I cut this apple, and you can see it's already starting to brown around the edges. So this is oxidative stress. And I want to share with this apple because imagine you cut an apple, you leave a slice on your counter, and what happens? It starts to turn brown. It's just turning browns on the inside and on the edges. And that browning is oxidation. Now imagine leaving this apple out for days, maybe even weeks. It's going to shrink up. It's going to get a little smelly. It's going to get a lot browner. But here's the thing. You're not going to ever think about putting that on a plate for an afternoon snack and say, I'm going to eat this. But this is the same thing that happens to our cells every single day. Oxidative stress from stress. I didn't even mention jobs. I went through the sleep, the food, and everything else, but imagine your jobs and what you're doing today and all the daily stresses. Oxidative stress is the browning of our cells. So Vivix is what steps in to stop it. And it is your antioxidant shield at a cellular level. It protects the cells the way that lemon juice would protect an apple if I had put this in lemon juice. And one other fun fact, again, Shaklee does its research, and they did this clinical trial around fast food. And what's very cool about this is that they wanted to show how Vivix impacts inflammation in real time. So they gave participants the highest fat meal they could think of, 2 breakfast sandwiches. We're not saying the name of the restaurant, but what the result was amazing, short of amazing. So 2 groups, one had been taking Vivix, the other one did not. And the group taking nothing, their inflammation spiked just as was expected. But the Vivix group, their inflammation actually decreased at the same rate the other groups was rising. So that's almost double. Like there's one went up, but the other one went down with the Vivix. It actively reduced the inflammation. And so the product does work in real time. And this is just a slide that shows you what's happening, like when you eat the food, when you are talking about all of the things that happen in our life, we break down. So think about what's bothering you right now. It's oxidative stress. It's inflammatory response. But here's the thing that's nice to know is that damaged cells repair faster. Oxidative stress is reduced when you use Vivix because this is what that does for you. The inflammatory response is blunted. It actually stops it, and your DNA is protected. Think about what you could do in life if your DNA is protected, your mitochondrial function is supported, and those age-related biomarkers that longevity scientists track, Vivix helps reduce them. So look at even statistically, 98.8% increase in cellular energy, 2/3 reduction in DNA, and a 13 times reduction in damaging age proteins. And Heather will chat a little bit about proteins a little bit later. Because here's the thing, longevity researchers, this was shared with us, that look at mitochondrial density. And I know we don't think about those things, but they do matter. That's one of the first thing they look at, the first markers for age-related disease. So low density means higher risk. Healthy, dense mitochondria means that people are aging well. And Vivix is specifically designed to support that. And I just want to share a really short story of this woman right here on the left. I heard her speak about a week ago, and she's a high school biology teacher, so she knows science. But when she saw the research on Vivix, she got on it immediately, knowing that clinical proof speaks for itself. And she was going through an incredibly stressful period of her life, which we all do, and that inflammation had quietly built up. She hadn't even noticed it happening, but when she added Vivix to her collagen routine, a few minutes later, she took a photo of some flowers that arrived. And when she looked at herself in the picture, she immediately went and put these two photos. So this was before Vivix and this was after Vivix. And these are her words. If my skin is showing this reduction in inflammation, so too is my heart, my liver, my organs, my brain. Everything's made of cells. She didn't change anything. She just added Vivix. So she got excited, she posted it, and then a lot of people said, I'm dealing with inflammation too. And this is what it means to live age-free. We cannot stop time, but we can absolutely influence how our cells respond to it. So if you want your damaged cells repairing faster inflammatory, you can put Vivix in the chat, but know that there is a solution. And right now, I'm going to hand this over to Heather, who's going to walk you through the second part of how to protect yourself and your cells. And I know you're going to love this.
All
Heather,
right.
all you.
Yeah, Donna, thank you so much. So excited to be here with all of you. Let's talk collagen, right? It is everywhere. It's trending on social media. You see it in the grocery store. But do we really know what it is? And before we go any further, I would love to know if you are currently taking any sort of product that includes collagen. Maybe it has a little extra collagen, maybe in your protein, wherever you're getting collagen. Are you currently taking a collagen supplement? Would love to hear that in the chat. So go ahead and put that in there. And let's talk. Let's talk collagen. So let's think about when you were born. Okay. Do you guys remember that? Yeah, I don't either. But we do know what a baby looks like, right? So we know what a baby is. We've held babies, and what amazing skin they have. It's plump, it's gorgeous. And that's what a body looks like, right? Babies have a lot of collagen, and they also have something else, hyaluronic acid. Good Lord. I always want to say hydrolonic acid, but there's no D in it. So hyaluronic acid. So they have both of those. And as we age, guess what? We slowly lose both of those. Collagen is also the most abundant protein in our body. It's our skin, it's our joints, it's our tendons, it's our cartilage, it's everywhere. So it's so important that we find a product that is going to help us maintain our collagen and help support us. This is a not so fun fact. Starting in our 20s, our body produces less and less of it every year. And by our 40s, we've already lost a significant amount of structural support. And for the women here entering perimenopause or in menopause, it can feel like it falls off a cliff. Where did you go? Go, go. So when we look in the mirror and we think, oh my gosh, where did those lines come from? This is not the person that I know. It's the inflammaging, right, that Donna talked about, but it's also the loss of that collagen and hyaluronic acid. So let's talk about why liquid biocell is so different. Why is this superior? So here's the problem with most collagens. You grab them off the shelf because you're like, oh, collagen, I heard that's really good for me. I'm in the grocery store. Let me throw that in the cart. Well, most of the collagens that you're buying off of the shelf don't work. And here is something that we're told size doesn't matter, but in collagen's case, size does matter. Okay. So think of me having a football. I'm throwing that football at a chain link fence. Okay. Does the football get through? No. If we take a handful of marbles and we then throw it, everybody put your hands up unless you're driving your car and make a throwing motion of those marbles through that. Yep, come on, do it. Ooh, and you're like, ouch, I felt that, right? That's your joint saying, I would like some of this liquid biocell. So when you throw the marbles through the fence, though, guess what? The marbles are getting through. That's exactly the difference between a collagen that you're buying that big, if you're buying it off the shelf, you're buying those big footballs. They're not getting into your body. They're kind of just hanging around. They're not getting to where they need to go. Whereas all of those marbles, that's your liquid collagen. It's getting into that body and it's working where it needs to work. Okay, so let's again think about liquid biocell as different. It's called hydrolyzed, right? So what does hydrolyzed mean? It means it's broken down into the smallest possible size. So that's those marbles. So now we know that, okay, we get it, it's going into our body, but okay, is that really a big difference? Well, let me tell you this. There is something called, everybody knows the movie The Matrix, a great movie, right? Really popular. Well, we have our own matrix here at Liquid BioCell, right? So this is the powerhouse. It is a collagen HA matrix. You're like, well, that's great. I don't really know what that means. Let's break it down. So we have a type 2 collagen. This is the one that targets joints directly, and this is why it has such a great impact on joints. And as Donna said, I'm a personal trainer. I work with a lot of women who are getting seasoned in life, and our joint pain starts to feel more intense. One of the reasons is that estrogen is dropping, right? And we're losing that collagen. This liquid biocell is going to help you with that type 2 collagen. So it's going to help those joints. And not only that, it also is clinically proven to elevate the type 1 and the type 3 collagen, which is the hair, skin, and nails. And honestly, since I've been taking the liquid biocell, that's one of the reasons Donna and I are working together because I was like, girl, like your skin and your hair look amazing. Like, what are you doing? And then I immediately got on that liquid biocell and I get so many compliments of like, wow, you look like you're glowing. What are you doing? You look great. So, not that it's all about the looks, but it certainly helps, right? It makes you feel good when somebody says, "Hey, you look great. What is that?" They can't put their finger in it. It's that vibrant, it's that glow, right? The glow protocol. And we have that word that I have trouble pronouncing, hyaluronic acid. I'm gonna go practice it tonight before I go to bed. Our body's natural joint lubricant and skin plumper. Remember the baby, right? We want that baby skin. So it keeps the joint moving smoothly and our skin looks full and hydrated. And then the other really cool part of the matrix is the chondroitin sulfate. And this is the cushion. Think of like pillows on your joints. It supports that cartilage structure and it slows the breakdown. And what's really cool is this comes just from one bottle. You don't have to be, like Donna said in the beginning, grabbing this bottle, that bottle, this bottle. It comes in the liquid biocell and it's backed by 37 clinical studies. So knowing all of that, let's look at some before and after pictures of women that have been on this, and it works just the same for men. We just don't have before and afters of men because men are shy. They don't want to share that, right? No, I don't know. But here you can see just the differences in the skin, primarily on the face. You see the difference in the blemishes, also the lines, the firmness, again, that glowy um, on their face. I mean, it's so apparent. And like I said, I have my own testimonial. We're also going to hear from Michelle as well. So let's move on though, because we recognize your time here tonight. So we're going to keep moving on. And let's talk a little bit more about numbers. So talking about those studies, one of those clinical studies showed a minimum of 6,000% increase. Everybody do this. Ready? Whistle with me. Go like this. Yep, I know. I know, right? Yeah, but that's just the minimum. The higher end reached up to 10,000%, 10,000%. Now say this. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I don't know if you're saying it, but I'm going to imagine that everybody just went, wow. All right. So that's a lot, right? That means the lines in your skin fill from the inside out. How amazing is that? Liquid BioCell doesn't just add the HA, it stimulates your body's own natural HA production. Amazing. The new Life Plus formula also includes a dual enzyme inhibition. Whoa, that's a lot of words, right? But what does that mean? It means it stops the enzymes that attack your collagen. So think of defense, right? Defense. Defense. That's what this. It's a great defensive line, right? So it's your collagen is going to not just replenish, it's going to protect. It's protecting what you already have. It's saying defense, defense, fight, team, fight. All right, then we also have the support of the bone density, which is critical for women, again, like I said, in perimenopause and beyond. And in Canada, for those of you, anybody that's joining us in Canada, this is printed right on the bottle because Health Canada has verified these claims, which is amazing, which includes the joint pain relief associated with osteoarthritis of the hip and knee. That is huge because as we get seasoned in life, our hips and knees are the first places that we're like, ooh, what's that? I haven't felt that before. What's going on there? So that's pretty awesome, right? So this is not the collagen that you're buying off the shelf in a big box store. This is a completely different category created by Shackley. And when I say the word Shackley, it is a what is the word I want? Legacy company. We've been around. We're celebrating our 70th anniversary of being here. So we are not a fly-by-nighter, right? We are here to stay and we are showing up just like you're continuing to show up. Shackley continues to show up in our products and in our clinical trials to give you the very best product. And that's why I'm so enthusiastic. I know you're like, wow, it's really late and you're very excited right now, Heather. But this is why I'm so excited about it is because not only do the products work, but the company behind it is so heart and soul worthy. And I have that on my shirt, strong, capable, and worthy. That's why both Donna and I, and you'll hear from Michelle, are so passionate about Shackley, Liquid BioCell, and Vivix. So without any further ado, Michelle, I would love for you to talk about your experience on Liquid BioCell.
I'd love to. I've actually been taking it for about a little over a year. And I'm gonna have to say, I was the teenager with the skin and all that crazy. I always had bangs. Lately, I get a lot of the compliments on my skin. It's glowing, it's doing this. And most importantly, I just recently had a procedure which affects, your collagen, your elasticity, and the scars. I've only been 2 months, and taking this preventively prior has really helped in my recovery. The surgery I had many scar, and you can't even see them. They're like a carpenter's chalk line. It's amazing. Something else I want to share real quick, and I'm not sticking my middle finger up at people. You probably can't even see it, but I went to kill a bug on the wall and I went straight with a fake nail. It totally tore my entire nail off. And in them, I had nothing. I had skin, and I have a fingernail again. It's all mine. And I really say it's because I have preventively and been taking this faithfully, my shot in the morning every day. My hair used to be every 6 months where I would maybe get a touch up. I'm going sometimes 2 to 3 months. My hair is just growing like crazy. So I'm a huge advocate for it. And yeah, it's life plus.
I'm gonna thank you, Michelle, for sharing that story. And there are so many stories just like that. Like Michelle, I started taking it because I had hip pain or knee pain, and a little, and these affect the hip. It all goes up. And what happened was when I was sharing this with somebody, because people started saying, "But your skin looks really good. You don't have any wrinkles." I'm going to be 62 this year in just a couple months. I don't have wrinkles. But one of my friends, she was a reflexologist, and she said, "You know what I noticed, Donna?" She's like, "You don't have wrinkles on your hands for your age." So again, this isn't about the skin. We're not selling a product here. What we really want to teach you is how to live well. And there are things that are happening around us all the time by the choices that we make that are impacting our health. And we are here to just share an opportunity to make a different decision, to make choices to support yourself, support your health, to support your joints. When I started taking BioCell, actually within less than a month, I could tell a difference in my knees and I did not have the problems. And I do work out with Heather, and she will stretch me beyond the things that I think are absolutely possible to do with my body. And amazingly enough, in my 60s, I can do it. So know that this is really about you, and why these things work better together is because Vivix really does work at that cellular level. It protects, repairs, and energizes from the deepest possible place in your body. And Liquid BioCell supports that because it works structurally, rebuilding collagen, lubricating joints, and plumping and tightening skin. So together, they are a complete inside-out approach. And that cellular protection, that structural rebuilding, that is what we're calling the Glow Protocol. And it's what gives you the ability to choose life on your terms, to have radiance, to have energy and vitality. So you're not just looking good, you're feeling good, and not just for right now, but really for the rest of your life. So if you're ready to glow, put glow in the chat. And if you have questions, we want to stop before we ask the questions. I do want Heather she's going to jump in and just go through real quick the options that you have. And we're just going to do the US because I don't think I have anybody from Canada online. But Heather, do you want to just go through
Yeah,
the Glow Protocol
let's
real
do
quick?
it. Yeah, absolutely. So, it comes down to your investment. What are you investing your time? What are you investing your money in? What are you investing your life into? And that's what we're talking to you about now, right? So the investment of saying, yes, I love that liquid biocell. I'm really interested in trying that. That would be your essential package, right? You're going to say, I'm going to come out swinging with 2 bottles. And ideally, we do recommend when you first start taking the liquid biocell to take a tablespoon in the morning and a tablespoon at night for your best results for at least the first 1 to 3 months. And then you can taper off and go down to 1 tablespoon a day. However, some individuals like to continue it. So again, do you have to do that? Absolutely not. You could start with 1 tablespoon a day. It just will take a little bit longer to see those more instant results, if that makes sense. So that's going to be your 2 bottles. That is $152, but you're saving $36 on that buying the two together. So that's a solid entry point. The premium bundle is just that. It's a little bit better. Why? Because you're getting both of those products. You're getting the BioCell and the Vivix. So you're attacking the inflammation and the collagen and that hyaluronic acid, right? You're doing it all. You're getting that matrix. So you're saving actually 62. So if you're a saver or a spaver, as I like to call it, I like to spend and save. This would be ideal for you because you're going to be saving 62 and you're spending it 231, and that is off of the regular price, which is just about $300. So this is a great place to start. And then if you're feeling very elite, if you are interested in adding that protein. So protein, we didn't really talk about protein, but protein is something I talk about every day to my clients, to my customers. I post about it on social media. Muscle, when we put muscle on our bodies, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to create longevity. How do we get more muscle into our bodies? We eat more protein. And Shaklee actually is a leader in protein. They were one of the first, if not the first, to create the protein shake a long time ago. So we have many different options of proteins. And in this elite package, you're getting what we call the Life Shake, which is a solid plant-based protein. You also get GLP-1 support with that. You're also getting 24 vitamins and minerals in addition to fiber. You could take that every day. I do myself after my workouts. I shake it up. I'm getting 20 to 30 grams of protein right after my workout. It's also great on the go, right? I know when some of you were coming into the meeting today, it was like, okay, I'm going from one thing to the next. That's how we're living, right? That's our life right now. So to have a little shaker bottle of a protein that you can count on, and you're taking your BioCell and you're taking your Vivix, talk about a upgrade to your life. You're going to be like, whoa, what have I been doing before this? So the elite package, yes, it's a little bit more of investment, but if you're looking for that life shake, oh, and I didn't even mention, and you're getting the vitamins. Okay. So again, Shackley is a leader in the multivitamin. In fact, Dr. Shackley was the first to create a multivitamin. So again, we are that legacy company. We keep coming up with all of the things. We have it from a long time ago, and we keep coming out with the new stuff like the Life Plus. So the elite package is where it's at, baby. So if you're like party time, let's do this. And you're saving $142, right? Be a spaver tonight, do the 142. And then when your partner asks you, hey, like, what did you invest in? And you could say, I did all of this and I saved. And you don't even need to tell them how much you spent, right? You can just tell them what you saved. That's what I do. Yeah. Right. But again, it's investment, investing in you, not just for today, but for tomorrow and many, many, many years beyond. So these bundles are all brand new. Savings are available right now. And both Jonna and myself are giving free gifts when you purchase one of these bundles. So you can get with one of us and talk to us about that. And yeah, I think we're pretty much wrapping it up, right, Donna?
Yes, we are. And just a side note on the Elite package, that Vivix is actually only $2, and that's a 91 value. So you're actually getting in the Elite package the Vivix for $2. So that's a very, very special deal.
Very.
Yeah, so I just want to thank you all, for being here. And the bottom line is we cannot stop time, but we can absolutely influence how our cells respond to it by making choices, healthy choices. And so, two products, one simple daily routine, and you will see the results and you'll see and feel them. Get with the person that invited you. This will be in a replay. If you want to go back and watch it again, we can send it out. But know that there is science behind this. There are people that care about people, about living and aging well and aging